Let's take a look at the time and topic report in ALEKS. From ALEKS, make sure you selected your class if you're not in it already, and then we're going to go to Reports and Time and Topic. The first thing you'll see in the time and topic report is a graph letting you know how much time your students are spending in ALEKS based on the day. You can adjust this report by changing the range or adjusting what you're seeing on the graph: total time, average time, total topics, or average topics. So you can do a lot to change this graph. As you scroll down, you'll see this information broken down by student. So each student listed here, I can see how much total time they've spent in ALEKS since they've been in, when they've last logged in, and then I'll see information for the date range up above. So as you change this date range, this information down below will change as well. What you'll see for each day, as well as the total for the range, is the amount of time they've spent and the number of topics they've attempted and how many of those they've learned. So if we look at Daniel here, in this date range, he's attempted 32 topics, but he's only learned 18. I can also see what he's doing each day. So again, you can see I have time and topics down below. Now, if we look at Wednesday here, I can see that Daniel spent 37 minutes but didn't even attempt any topics. That's because this little blue triangle indicates that the student spent time on a knowledge check during that day, so that's likely where he was spending his time. Using this report, you can also click on a student name to get a lot of detailed information about that student. So let's come down here and take a look at Cindy. So if I click on her name, I will see each day what she's been doing. So as I hover over each of these bars, I can see amount of time spent, and then what was learned and attempted not learned. So your orange bar, if that is large, that means the student tried a lot of topics and didn't learn them. So you can get a lot of information just by looking at the visualization of this report. You can see they spent a lot more time here than they did on some of the other days. You can also click on any of these bars to get more information. So if I want to see what was going on with Cindy on Monday, I can click this bar and I can get a detailed account of what she was doing. So she was working at 3:30 a.m. That right there might tell us what we need to know. But I'll see she was working on ordering fractions and decimals. She got the first question right, then wrong 3 times, clicked the explain button, got it right, continue to get it wrong. So you can kind of detect patterns here. This next topic, division of a decimal by a 1-digit decimal, you can see this topic the student did learn, so you can see the path that it took to get to that. Now let's look at the bottom one here. So they got it right a couple of times, but they're getting it wrong many times in a row. Each one of these icons you can actually click on. So if I click on here, I can see how much time they spent, exactly what time they worked on that problem. And if I click this magnifying glass, I can even see the exact problem. So this is where your knowledge will really come into play, because you may be able to look at this and detect patterns and say, oh, it looks like this student is consistently adding when they should be subtracting. You're more attuned to those common issues that students are going to have. So you can click through and see what they answered, which the student didn't provide an answer, and see if you can figure some of that out to really help the student. This is pretty granular. Not everyone digs in this deep, but it's really good information for you to have if there's a student who's struggling and you really need to figure out where to help them. This report, you can also, this is just 1 week at a time, so I can move by week. So if I need to go back to look at an earlier week in the course, I can certainly do that. And then you get some basic information down here about the time spent. Hours per week that the student is working is a good indicator of how much work they're putting into ALEKS as well. You can also change the date range up here or view everything. So if I wanted a snapshot of everything that the student has been doing in ALEKS, I can see, all right, here we go. I can see when knowledge checks occurred, and a lot of great information. Again, I can click on these bars and get more specific. If you need to go back to the class level report, just click on the class title here, and it will take you back to the time and topic report for the class, and you can dig back into another student if needed. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you have any other questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Thanks.